Coming off of the debut episode of NXT 2.0, I have been able to digest and process my thoughts and my feelings about the revamp, the reincarnation, 2.0. Some would say 3.0, maybe 4.0. It's not that deep. Y'all don't got to do that. Welcome back to Within the Ropes. I'm your host, the host, Brian Tronick, and this is the very first NXT 2.0 review. Well, not the very first. I've done NXT reviews before, but this is like the very first NXT 2.0, the new XT, if you will. And I'm going to flat out say it right here, right now. I thought NXT was fantastic from open to close. I thought that they showed a lot of the future. You know, it was very youthful. It was very, new. Everyone online was like, who is this? Who is that? What is this? What is that? And that's a good thing. It's got people wondering what's going on. Like, how and why is this happening? Listen, just before I get into the rundown, I want to say the NXT Arena looks fantastic. Let me tell you why I feel like it's fantastic. I know there's some who think it looks great. Some people are making fun of the colors, saying that it's NXT Nickelodeon. Some people are upset because it doesn't feel like that grungy, nasty, underground-ish feel that it used to be. But that's a good thing. The NXT ratings have been extremely low, extremely poor. And maybe it's just because, listen, honestly, think about the crowd too. The crowd was starting to even sour up. Maybe it's because it's so dark in there and it's just so sad. Like, you ever walk, you ever wonder why your bedroom doesn't have black walls? You ever wonder? Some people get claustrophobic, surrounded by nothing but darkness, right? I feel like NXT, it was time for a change. It was time to brighten it up a little bit. From the moment the broadcast started, I said, this got Vince McMahon written all over it in terms of the production, the brightness. I love it. And honestly, they have the hard cam and then they have that swivel cam. I don't know the proper term for it, but that swivel cam as well to sort of move. I like that. It feels good. It feels different. And I felt like the first night was a home run. I said that they needed it. I said SmackDown last week was a home run. Raw Monday, in my opinion, was a home run. And NXT needed to be a home run, and I think they hit a home run. They had everybody talking about it. Everyone was anticipating the episode and how the arena was going to look. And look, man, I think it's a home run. Now, will the ratings reflect that? Will the ratings say that? I don't know. Probably not. But they started off the night with all four participants of the Fatal 4-Way cutting little promos to start the show, and they were already like in different locations, not like very bright backgrounds, nothing too dark, and that's what I loved. And the last person to cut a promo out of that Fatal 4-Way match was LA Knight, talking about the title match. And he turns to Bron Breakker, who I thought was going to be Rex Steiner, right? I think that was the name, Rex Steiner. Turns to Bron Breakker as he's standing there and jumping up and down, super excited about NXT 2.0. And he says he wants to prove himself tonight, so LA Knight tells him to meet him in the ring. And he does. And we get LA Knight versus Bron Breakker to kick off the new NXT. And while lots of people online skeptical about this and thinking, oh my God, like, why is LA Knight in this match? Let alone, why did LA Knight lose this match? Well, he's a participant in the main event going after the championship. Why did he take the L? to Bron Breakker. And let me tell you why. This is my opinion. Because Bron Breakker is fresh. Bron Breakker is new. Bron Breakker is someone who's probably going to be in NXT well longer than LA Knight will. LA Knight is Raw, SmackDown ready. Bron Breakker said he wanted to make a name for himself. He wanted to improve himself. He wanted to make a statement, and he did just that by beating LA Knight, former $1 Million champion. LA Knight, who a lot of people thought was going to be the new NXT champion after NXT. But that obviously wasn't the case. You guys all know, and we'll get to that in a second. But Bron Breakker picked up the victory after a power slam, and I'm excited. Bron Breakker looks the part. His intensity, he's charismatic. He sounds just like his uncle Scott. Just like Scott Steiner. He looks like a young Scott Steiner. I like this move. I was excited for it. And I know a lot of people were like, oh, that means Bron Breakker's going to be possibly put into the NXT Championship Fatal 4-Way match because LA Knight just lost. But that didn't happen. But before we get to the main event, or the championship match, if you will, it wasn't the main event, but the co-main event, Imperium, Eichner, and I forgot, Bartel went up against the new team in NXT of Josh, Briggs, and I forgot the Jensen, Jack Jensen, something. Briggs and Jensen, y'all know. And I thought this was different. This was new. Briggs and Jensen give me Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch vibes. Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch are former tag team champions, so I don't think that that's a bad thing necessarily. I was thinking like, whoa, is it going to be 2 in a row? We're going to have another upset? But no, there was no upset. Imperium did pick up the win after a beautiful butterfly suplex off the top rope by Eichner. And listen, the crowd wasn't feeling Briggs and Jensen, which is fine. This is why this is NXT. We're trying to fit. That's why there's new faces. We're trying to figure this out. We're trying to see who's over, who's not over, who's the future, who's not, all that stuff. This is what NXT is really supposed to be about, and really what it's all about. It's about up and coming. It's about development. And we got to see a lot of that tonight. Imperium, though, picked up the win. We get a backstage vignette from Hit Row. B-Fab was scheduled to have a match for the very first time on NXT TV. And that was pretty cool. She went up against Katrina Cortez, who used to be Catalina, used to team up with Sin Cara. They had a match with Andrade and Zelina on Monday Night Raw. So it was nice to see Katrina, the formerly Catalina, in a match here. And again, this is fresh faces, new attitude. B-Fab making her debut. She's a little green. She's so green, she made Katrina look green almost. And I know Katrina's been in NXT for a minute. She's been in WWE for a minute. But B-Fab made Katrina look green. So it was a green match, but it's promising. I saw something in B-Fab that looked promising, and I appreciate them for even. Listen, it was almost like an episode of Dark, right? People talk about what is Dark for? What is it's all about development. It's all about this. So, listen, you can kind of look at this as, them just putting them out there just to see what they would happen. Sink or swim. Go out there live in front of a live crowd, in front of, hundreds of thousands, hopefully millions soon to come of people, and see if you can get it done. And B-Fab was able to do as much as she could to get it done in the short time that she had. Katrina Cortez, like I said, didn't really get much offense in, but B-Fab hits a neck breaker and then picks up the win. And then after the match, B-Fab grabbed the mic And she told us what she thinks of Elektra Lopez and Legado del Fantasma as they interrupt and make their way down to the ring. And Elektra said she was going to shut B-Fab's mouth up, and B-Fab tells Elektra to bring it. She said she was ready to go. Escobar holds Elektra back, and B-Fab tells Elektra that Santos Escobar just saved her life. So that whole post-match segment was a little cringe. Didn't really know where they were going. And that we had a lot of that on this episode of NXT. It was a lot of like moments where it was like, huh? Like, it was a lot of that. But listen, there's room for error. NXT was, like a lot of you say, was dead, right? So now they're rising up. If they're already down, if they're already back first to the mat, then they can't go any lower, right? So only way to go is up from here. So I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the feel. It still felt like NXT. It's still, everybody's still doing the same thing that they're doing. The only changes we really saw was the new people, the fresh faces, But we got another backstage segment with the groomsmen of Dexter Lumis getting ready for the big wedding that was scheduled to headline this episode of NXT. Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, Odyssey Jones, all dressed like Dexter Lumis. Gargano says something is missing tonight. Austin Theory walks into the room, also dressed like Dexter Lumis, and this was great. The return of Austin Theory was cool. The crowd popped. It was amazing. Austin Theory finally back. And Austin Theory says that there was no way he was going to miss Indy's wedding. Theory then says he brought a gift. You can't have a wedding without a priest. And then we see Damian Priest walking in. And Damian Priest, listen, anywhere you see Damian Priest, something's about to go down. It's about to be a party. And I thought it was a nice touch because we all know Damian Priest is a party animal. We know that he is the rock star. He's the United States champion. He says he's going to stick around for the open bar. So off top, we know Priest ain't necessarily there to be a priest. He's just, he there for the party. So I thought that was a cool touch. I thought it was funny. And a good effort to, again, show that anything could happen on NXT. They used to have stuff like this all the time. If you look at the early days of NXT, there was a lot of people. You've seen lots of people from the main roster come in and help out, whether it be joining a segment, being in a match. So I thought that was cool. Going forward, it kind of gives you that, I wonder. You know what I mean? So you might want to keep your eyes on NXT because you never know what you're going to miss. You never know who's going to be there. We get a in-ring promo by Carmelo Hayes alongside Trick Williams. Hayes says that he wants to get right to it. He says he knows he has a target on his back, and he knows it's a numbers game. So he called his boy Trick to watch his back. Trick Williams says that he has a bone to pick with Hayes, and he says that back in the day, Hayes was never humble. And Melo says when he shoots, he don't miss. And then he says that Williams is right. Duke Hudson walks to the ring after this promo. Look, the promo was a little cringe. It was a little all over the place. It felt like they were taking forever to kind of get to their point. I get it, though. I understand it. We understand you, Carmelo. We understand you, Trick. Okay? Look, this pairing is out of nowhere, but think about it. Trick, who's obviously a lot bigger than Carmelo Hayes in terms of height. Carmelo Hayes, look, and this got Vince all over it, in my opinion. This has Vince McMahon written all over it. Vince obviously likes to put the smaller guys with another big guy, right? Especially a big guy who he sees, okay, this guy has a future, right? We've seen a lot of that in the past in WWE. But listen, these two guys look great. Carmelo Hayes is astonishing, fantastic in the ring, and he showed that he's charismatic. Shows that he can, with Trick Williams. Listen, if you're gonna put the blame on anyone about last night's promo, I'll put it on Trick Williams. Trick Williams, I feel like, kind of forgot what he was gonna say. He kind of said something and then there was a long pause, but he recovered. He recovered. And as they make their way back to the, they leave the ring, they make their way back through to the back. Duke Hudson comes out and he kind of like bumps shoulders with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, and then that was it. Trick Williams, he got upset. He said, He said, "Nah, that I ain't letting that happen. It ain't going down like that." So he says, "Exactly what I'm talking about." So then Williams attacks Hudson, and Carmelo Hayes joins in, and they pretty much beat the hell out of him. And I liked it. I felt like this was a nice recover, although it was obviously the design to be this way. I felt like it was a nice recover from the very cringeworthy, all over the place promo, which again, I'm going to say, I understood it. I know the point that they were trying to get across and what was trying to be said. Look, Carmelo Hayes, he was basically saying, he need somebody to watch his back. He has a target on his back. He knows that at any point in time, somebody's going to try and take him out because they know he's the future. They know that he's the man. They know that he is going to be a future world champion. They know that he can make that happen anytime, any place. It's just a matter of time, right? And so he got some muscle to watch his back and look, some would say that Carmelo Hayes is leading more towards the heel side, and maybe that might be the case, but maybe it's just, hey, I know that we living in this new era in NXT, and look, I'm gonna tell you what, it's sink or swim, and I'm definitely not gonna sink. I'm definitely gonna show you that I do have what it takes, and I'm not gonna have nobody roll up on me and try and take me out, trying to make it so that I don't get to be in the positions that I deserve to be in. That's how I see it. Look, I didn't sit here and make the promo or what they were trying to say any better. But let's just leave it at, I know what they meant. I know what they was talking about. They both bowed it. Okay. And the NXT crowd need to wake the fuck up, because I'm sick of every single time somebody go out there and try and make a name for themselves or show their charisma and show their personality, and then the crowd just don't understand it. They don't feel it. They don't understand. Listen, they need to stop letting these people, these regulars who be coming up in NXT, they need to stop letting them come. For real. I seen a report even that the timekeeper was trying to get the crowd to cheer and start chants and get them involved. That's a damn shame, bro. It's a damn shame. Y'all, is it because y'all getting in? I know they're not paying for these tickets. Is it because y'all getting in for free or what? How does this work? Somebody who has been to an NXT taping or goes to NXT tapings regular, please hit me up on Twitter at Within the Ropes. Let me know. Let me know what the deal is, because if no one's paying, and of course, if you're getting it for free, you don't really feel like you want to go, and it's not really somebody get Izzy on the phone. I need to know. We got a video package, or not a video package. It was like a backstage segment teasing a new Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane standing there, and we're gonna get some tag team action. Gigi and JC going up against Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. This match was okay. I liked it. It ended with shenanigans, if you will, and we got a 6-person tag match, brother. 6-woman, 6-person, 6-man. Is it considered a 6? I don't know. Y'all know what it is. Went to commercial break, came back, and all of a sudden it was Mandy Rose, the new and improved Mandy Rose. She took off her ski mask, and she was a brunette. She has brown hair now, dark hair, super tan body. I don't know how she's gonna keep that up. Holy shit, she's tan as a MF. Super tan. Almost couldn't recognize her. But all of a sudden, we had ourselves a match, ladies and gentlemen. Saray came out there to help Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. Mandy Rose, Gigi, and JC Jane. This is a good 6 match. 6-man match. 6-woman match. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Listen. if they're going the route that Paige went with Mandy and Sonya, you want to know why? Because Mandy knows. She went through it. She's done it. She was a young whippersnapper like Gigi and JC Jane, okay? Now she's taking what she learned from Paige, and she's got new edge. She's got new attitude. She's got new look. I like it. I appreciate it. And I like the move. Okay? Mandy, Gigi, and JC pick up the win. Saray didn't take the pin, so I'm okay with that. Protect Saray at all costs. All right? She shouldn't be losing, especially, in these impromptu tag team matches. She shouldn't be doing it. So, bravo. Definitely produced and edited and written by someone from Monday Night Raw, but it wasn't bad. The crowd was really into it. I don't know if that was influenced by the timekeeper or not, but hey, I liked seeing crowd get up, clapping, chanting. I loved it. We got an announcement from William Regal saying that Kyle O'Reilly wasn't cleared to wrestle after he got attacked, and I blinked. I had no clue who he got attacked by. I blinked, so I don't know. He says that the newcomer, Von Wagner, a.k.a. Kyle Bloom, was going to replace Kyle O'Reilly. And this came as a shocker to me, and I'm sure everybody else who watched NXT last night, because I was expecting that it was going to be Bron Breakker, but it wasn't. It was Edge. I mean, Von Wagner. It was Von Wagner. He looks like Edge, though, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
It was Pete Dunne? Oh, okay. So my son confirmed. See, this is you never know what you're going to get on an episode of Within the Ropes. My son is live here while I'm recording this, and he just informed me that it was Pete Dunne that attacked Kyle O'Reilly. So thank you. And Von Wagner, rated R superstar Edge Wagner, was the replacement in the Fatal 4-Way. But we got Ridge Holland going up against Drake Maverick, who is seeming to be signed to Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Velocity, Sunday Night Heat. It don't matter what show. It don't matter. He's going to be there. This was basically a quick beat down. Ridge Holland picks up the win. Then we got the Creed brothers representing the Diamond Mine coming out looking strong, looking solid. I enjoyed the Creed brothers, Malcolm Bivens, Ivy Nile, Roderick Strong, and Suzuki. I forgot the guy's name, but I know he's Suzuki. Okay, the Creed brothers pick up a victory over some local talent. Listen, this was a dominant beatdown wrestling. This had wrestling, amateur wrestling, pro wrestling, a fight. This had everything written all over it. I was intrigued by Ivy. Don't know too much about Ivy, but she looks badass. I noticed that she was in the backstage segments, I don't know, maybe a few weeks ago when Diamond Mine was talking to Malcolm Bivens. This is great. Creed brothers obviously pick up the win. After the match, Malcolm Bivens introduces Ivy. And then Kushida comes out and interrupts and tells Bivens that he talks too much. He says he wants Roderick Strong. Bivens agrees to the match. So next week, we're going to get Kushida versus Roderick Strong for the Cruiserweight Championship. This could very much be the end of Kushida's NXT Cruiserweight Championship reign. Or it could be just the beginning, because he's been pretty much out for a while. And I think he had COVID or something. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not quite sure if I'd give it to Roderick. Maybe. But you got to have some back. You got to have a plan. I feel like there's nobody really left to challenge for the Cruiserweight Championship at this point, because they released pretty much the entire 205 Live Cruiserweight division. So I don't know, but we'll see. We finally come around and we finally get to the NXT Championship match. Pete Dunne, LA Knight, Tommaso Ciampa, and Edge. I mean, Von Wagner. Okay. And a brawl breakout between all four men. We get LA Knight rolling up Wagner, Wagner kicking out, Wagner hitting a spinning suplex on LA Knight, Pete Dunne grabbing Wagner's arm and stomps on his elbow. Tommaso Ciampa and Pete Dunne brawling, going at it as they usually do. Tommaso Ciampa and Dunne trading strikes. Wagner with a boot to Pete Dunne's face. Then he turns Pete Dunne inside out with a lariat. Listen, Von Wagner is like Edge, and he's like, he has the look of Edge but the size of a JBL, if that makes any sense. Very, very aggressive. The offense was great. He looked great in the ring, and the crowd booed him. The crowd did not want this at all whatsoever, and everyone on the internet was assuming, oh man, Von Wagner is gonna win the NXT championship. But guess what? That's wrong. Von Wagner did not win the NXT championship because guess what? Ciampa hit the fairy tale ending on LA Knight after he was busted open the hard way. Great to see some blood. And he pinned him for 1, 2, 3. And Tommaso Ciampa is the new NXT champion of NXT 2.0. He's got Goldie back. Goldie 2.0. This was great. This was fantastic. Tommaso Ciampa was not on anybody's radar. A lot of people thought it was going to be Pete Dunne. A lot of people thought it was going to be LA Knight. A lot of people thought Kyle O'Reilly. Nobody said Tommaso Ciampa. So for those of you out there that's acting like y'all, oh my God, this is great. Y'all was not feeling Ciampa. Y'all, I ain't see nobody predict Tommaso Ciampa. Okay? So I don't want to hear it. Goldie 2.0, baby. Goldie's back. Daddy's back. NXT is back. And he is leading the future. And I love every second of it. Okay? And the headline is very, very new, fresh, and good episode of NXT was the IN-DEX wedding. This was great. We saw freaking, everyone from, y'all know who y'all saw out there. Shout out to Io Shirai. She looked good in the dress. She looked good in the dress. Ike Manjiro was there as well. He had the ring. Johnny Gargano was asking Austin Theory if he had the ring. He was supposed to have the rings. He said he gave him the Eichmann and he had them. He opened his jacket and revealed he had the rings. The minister asked if anyone had an objection. Look, by the way, they had the ring all set up nice. They removed the ropes. Everything was great. Everybody kind of had an entrance and it was cool. It wasn't as, big as, Jagged Edge and who else came out and did a wedding? I know Jagged Edge did one. No, I'm not talking about who did the wedding. I'm saying like they had like musical guests one time for a wedding. But anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about. It wasn't as like big of a production as like a Raw or SmackDown wedding, right? But it was definitely main roster-ish vibes. But like I said, the minister asked if anyone had an objection. Everyone kind of raised their hand. Dexter Lumis opened his jacket, which had an axe to make sure, put y'all hands down. It ain't going down like that. Everyone who had their hand raised lowered them quickly. Indy Hartwell then said her vows. They were both heartfelt and hilarious. She says that Dexter never loses a staring contest. And I thought that was funny as hell. Then the minister asks if Dexter Lumis wants to give his vows, and he gives a thumbs up. Everybody claps. The crowd goes crazy. The minister goes off on a rant about how Dexter Lumis has to have more to say than that. Like after, Indy just, poured her heart out and said what she said, he's got to have something to say. Lumis then puts the minister in silence. The minister passes out. So now everyone's kind of looking at who is going to be the minister, who's going to be the priest, if you will. A lot of people were thinking Damian Priest. They were pointing at William Regal, saying that he should do it. He's looking like, what? Not me, right? So then Beth Phoenix hops up on the ring and says that she knew something like this would happen. So she got herself ordained last night online. The crowd goes crazy. She asked Indy Hartwell, if, all that stuff. She says, I do. Then she asks Dexter Lumis if she takes, Indy to be his lawfully wedded wife, blah, blah, blah. And then Dexter Lumis says, he speaks for the first time. He says, crowd goes crazy. Well, in shock, like, and he says, I do. And then all of a sudden you see Austin Theory right behind Dexter Lumis going absolutely nuts, crazy. He says, I do. And then they're pronounced husband and wife and everyone cheers. And we finally get a WWE wedding that has no shenanigans, no interruptions, no nothing. And I was surprised. I thought the wedding segment went well. It was funny, very comedic, showing different sides of people. Obviously, Austin Theory. Indy is a home run. She is great. Dexter Lumis, home run, obviously. We know what he can do in the ring, but he's definitely showed that he can take this character and do what he's done, and so I like it. And then after the wedding, we get a glimpse backstage of Ciampa watching the wedding from the monitor, and then Bron Breakker walks in on him. Ciampa congratulates him on winning his debut match and offers him a handshake, and Breakker shakes his hand, but he kind of looks at the NXT Championship. Tommaso Ciampa laughs, and NXT 2.0, the new breed, the new era ends with the champion and the possible challenger, Bron Breakker, as the show goes off the air. And listen, give me all of that. Give me Bron Breakker versus Tommaso Ciampa, NXT Championship. I know some people will say that. Some people will say maybe wait, let Bron win a couple more matches. But hell, why? No, why? Why? Just do it. Do it. Who's going to challenge Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship anyways? Maybe Kyle O'Reilly because Kyle got attacked. But I feel like Kyle's got a bone to pick with Pete Dunne. And when is Pete Dunne going to win the NXT Championship? He just signed a new 3-year deal with WWE, according to Fightful Select yesterday. Said he signed a new 3-year deal. I don't know if he's going to be there for the entire 3 years. Maybe he's main roster bound. Who knows? But I feel like Kyle O'Reilly keeps getting the shitty end of the stick. And so does Pete Dunne. I don't know. Where does Edge, Von Wagner fit in this whole equation? Is he a star? Oh, speaking of new stars, hold on. I wrote it down. I believe I did wrote it down because I didn't want to forget his name. What is it? Fuck. I don't think I wrote it down. Did I write it down? Yes, I did write it down. His name is Tony D'Angelo. Sort of like a Big Vito, Italian mobster. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So look, another fresh face, another new debut on the way. I like it. It feels good, man. NXT feeling like NXT again. I know I'm on the record of saying that before, but this new revamp gives me hope, and it really does feel like a legit fresh restart to the brand. And I think they need it. I think they needed this main roster influence, if you will. They needed it. Brighten it up a bit. Put some Vince on that thing. Triple H. It won't hurt you. I know Triple H I don't think he was backstage at all. But when he comes back, I know he's going to be adding to and making things great like he always has. And I know Vince will do great by, the marketing and making sure people continue to watch NXT. Hopefully. Let's hope. I know the ratings ain't out for it yet, but we're going to see about it. And that's it. I enjoyed NXT 2.0 for the very first episode. It's a home run for me. It's a 10, and I don't care what nobody say because guess what? Oh, and can you imagine the first time the Queen City decides that she wants to step foot in NXT 2.0? Oh, 3 million rating right there. By the way, speaking of women, there was no NXT Women's Championship match That match got scrapped. Don't know why. I'm sure we'll find out sooner or later. But it was cool. But that's it. That's all I got to say about NXT. Tonight is AEW Dynamite. Seems like the vibes for tonight's Dynamite are very low. I don't think that they have a card that's super exciting or something that people are looking forward to. I don't know. Maybe NXT kind of took the week away, maybe the anticipation. We'll see. We'll see how Dynamite is tonight. I know that Punk's gonna be on there and all that, so we'll see. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you guys follow me on the socials at Within the Ropes. Okay, Twitter and Instagram. If it's your first time listening, follow the Twitter at Within the Ropes. And yeah, I did something weird with my podcasting host. And I don't know, like it deleted like everything off of Spotify and everything else, but everything should be back up. So if you're listening to this for not the first time and you were wondering like, oh, where the hell, just withintheropespodcast.com. That's where everything is. All the platforms it's available on all the platforms. I'm going to try and get a list of where everything's available soon so that everybody kind of knows. So, not everyone's an iPhoner or an Androider, or not everyone likes to listen to podcasts on podcast platforms. Maybe they want YouTube. I'm on there as well. So check it out. That's it. I'm going to get off here now. Get ready for Dynamite tonight. Boom. Adam Cole's debut match as well. So have a good day, wrestling fans. NXT, NXT, NXT.